Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Vicki Gunvalson gets petty, belittles Alexis Bellino's career. Vicki Gunvalson may be a friend of the Real Housewives of Orange County since season 14, but that has not stopped her from stirring the drama on and off screen. With every new episode, the OG of the OC seems to be weighing in on her new podcast or social media. Now, Alexis Bellino has found herself in her crosshairs over her latest outrageous claims about the show. Alexis Bellino gets roasted after calling RHOC her career. After being dubbed the most hated Real Housewives villain ever, Alexis took to her Instagram page to try to tell her truth. In the post, she claimed that Bravo was intentionally making her look bad and fans would eventually learn the truth. She also revealed she was going to start posting weekly recaps so she could let fans know her side of every episode. After a decade away, Alexis returned to the show as a friend. Amid news, she was dating RHOC mainstay Shannon Beater's recent ex, John Jansen. Fans and her bestie Vicki rallied around Shannon after Alexis and John came for her again and again. Taking on Shannon in season 18 with her planned outlines was nothing compared to their next move. While cameras rolled, she and John threatened to release video of Shannon from the night of her DUI unless she paid back a $75,000 loan, which Emily Simpson confirmed is commonly known as extortion. Vicki Gunvalson mocks Alexis Bellino's career. As Alexis' post quickly went viral, fans flocked to social media to bash her and her message. Everywhere but on her post since she turned her Instagram comments back off. One commenter compared Alexis to former RHOBA star Brandi Glanville, saying housewives make a fortune on the show, but when they know the messed up they immediately start blaming producers. Vicki responded to the comment suggesting her time on the show might be short-lived. She didn't make a fortune this season, she was cast as a friend only, noted the OG. If she thinks RHOC is a career, she has a rude awakening. I don't think she's ever had a career. Maybe she should consider getting one because, hopefully this is a one-season appearance. Career. The Kodo insurance queen added. Vicki Gunvalson reveals how much friends get paid. Even though Alexis filmed as much as the full-time RHOC stars, being a friend is a pay-to-play position. This means you only get paid if you show up. Vicki was also quick to point out that friends make very, very little. Vicki Gunvalson has always been known for her sharp tongue and fiery personality on The Real Housewives of Orange County. Whether it's coining the iconic woo-hoo or feuding with nearly every cast member, Vicki's presence on the show is synonymous with drama. But lately, the OG of the OC has been stirring the pot in a new, more personal way, by taking aim at her former castmate Alexis Bellino's career. A cold front in Orange County. It all began at a casual dinner gathering of old RHOC stars, where the wine flowed freely, and the tensions between the women were barely held together by polite smiles. Vicki, always ready for a juicy conversation, seemed particularly agitated when the topic of Alexis came up. Known for her role as the Jesus Barbie, Alexis had built her brand on faith, family, and a focus on her beauty business ventures. But according to Vicki, her former castmates' efforts were hardly worthy of praise. "I'm sorry, but what has Alexis ever really done?" Vicki declared, waving her glass of Chardonnay in the air. "She was always talking about her businesses, but I've never seen anything come of them. Where's her insurance empire? Where's her legacy?" The women around the table exchanged wary glances, knowing that once Vicki started, it was hard to rein her in. But the mention of Alexis' career was particularly biting. Although Alexis had left the show several seasons ago, she had frequently discussed her desire to pursue ventures in fashion, beauty, and television hosting. However, her efforts didn't make nearly as big of a splash as Vicki's high-profile insurance company or Tamra Judge's booming gym business. Vicki's words weren't just casual commentary, they dripped with disdain. It was clear that despite Alexis having moved on from the RHOC franchise, Vicki still harbored a quiet resentment toward her. Her career, please. When someone at the table tentatively reminded Vicki of Alexis' jewelry line and her boutique, Vicki's eyes rolled so far back, it was a wonder she didn't fall off her chair. Jewelry line, boutique, come on people, How many of us housewives have had jewelry lines? It's like the first thing we all do once we get some Instagram followers. It's not a career, it's a hobby. Vicki continued, when I talk about career, I'm talking about something that's substantial, something that lasts. Not a little boutique that lasts for a few years and then closes its doors because guess what? People aren't buying overpriced necklaces. The harsh critique didn't go unnoticed. Tamra, who had had her own ups and downs with Alexis over the years, tried to steer the conversation back to a lighter tone. Vicki, everyone's on their own path. Just because she didn't build an empire like you doesn't mean she wasn't doing her thing. But Vicki wasn't having it. Tamra, let's be real. Alexis was always playing housewife, pretending she was going to be the next big thing in fashion or TV. But she was never serious about it. She was too busy letting Jim control her life to actually focus on herself. Revisiting old wounds. Vicki's reference to Alexis' then-husband, Jim Bellino, struck a nerve. The couple had been a controversial topic during their time on the show, with many of the other cast members frequently criticizing their seemingly controlling relationship. Alexis had been vocal about feeling empowered after her divorce from Jim, but it seemed Vicki hadn't quite let go of the old dynamics she witnessed years before. She was always talking about how she was going to make it on her own, but let's be honest, Jim was the one pulling the strings. Now, she's dating some new guy, and I'm sure it's the same story all over again. She's just playing at having a career. She's never going to be like me, never going to build something real, Vicki declared with a dramatic flourish. Tamra leaned in, her voice lowered. Maybe she's happy, Vicki. Isn't that the point? Not everyone wants the same things. But Vicki shook her head, not convinced. Happiness is one thing, but you can't call it a career if it's just a bunch of half-baked ideas. I built something from the ground up. I didn't rely on a man to get me where I am today. Alexis' side of the story. Unsurprisingly, word of Vicki's harsh words made its way back to Alexis. Known for her more reserved and spiritual approach these days, Alexis responded with a calm yet pointed statement. I've worked hard to create a life that I'm proud of, both personally and professionally, she posted on social media. I may not have taken the same path as Vicki, but that doesn't diminish what I've accomplished. Success is different for everyone, and I'm happy with the life I've built. I'm blessed, and I don't need validation from anyone else. Her response was met with a wave of support from fans, many of whom pointed out that Alexis had indeed moved on from her marriage to Jim and seemed to be thriving in her post-RHOC life. Her jewelry line and boutique, while not on the level of some of her castmates' ventures, had garnered a respectable following, and she had found happiness in her personal life with a new partner. The bigger picture. Vicki's belittling comments reveal more than just old wounds between the women. They expose a deep-seated need in Vicki to assert her dominance in the Orange County hierarchy. To her, success is measured in tangible achievements, empires built, businesses launched, and money made. Anything less in her eyes is merely play acting. But for Alexis and perhaps many of the other women, success is measured differently. It's found in personal growth, relationships, and pursuing passions, even if those passions don't result in multi-million-dollar companies. At the heart of Vicki's pettiness lies a fear. Fear of losing relevance, fear of being overshadowed by younger or newer castmates, and fear that her definition of success might not be the only one that matters. For Vicki, who spent decades building her brand and her business, the idea that someone like Alexis could find success on her own terms feels like a threat to everything she's worked for, petty or perceptive. As Vicki Gunvalson continues to stir the pot in true RHOC fashion, it remains to be seen how this feud will play out. Will Alexis respond further, or will she continue to take the high road? And will Vicki ever be able to accept that success comes in many forms, not just the ones she values? For now, it's clear that in the world of Real Housewives, no grudge is ever truly forgotten, and no comment is too petty to ignite another round of drama.